Evening, Freaks. I'm here to give you a read straight from the hip with lots of lip, and we are diving back into that 2023 Love Forecast Series wild card read, and we're going to be reading for Gemini, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, North Node, Mercury, Mars, or a loaded third house. That's a stellium, three or more planets in that house, or a really strong placement like the ones I mentioned before. You may find this message resonates for you. This is a look at three different areas, okay, of love life. So everybody has a place for them to get the forecast that they need. So we're going to do a singles ready to mingle. We're going to do a cuffed up for those of you who are in committed relationships or marriages. And then we are going to do, and it's complicated, all right? But I do recommend, it's helpful to kind of tune in for all of them. I'm finding there's threads of similarity, like an overall theme that runs through, a current that runs through the three different categories. So you might find it beneficial, okay? I am going to shuffle live on camera because I feel like that's important. Something about this really coming in. There's a need to turn things around, do things differently. And yeah, I feel like it's very helpful to, I'm getting like a downloads coming in simultaneously as I am trying to give you the intro here. So this is very interesting. I feel like something is kind of like coming in for you, that's sort of making you feel just like a little off center. There's something coming in for you that you're looking at differently than maybe you did before. You have a different perspective on it. Very, very interesting piece coming in there, okay? But I was going to say, I feel like there's like a little bit of an interesting. I'm going to bring it in. I feel like there's a little bit of interrupting energy in your read already before we even get started. I'm picking up interference energy. Maybe that was the do things differently piece that was coming in, this need for there to be some kind of purification energy coming in before your read can come through. All right. So I feel like you might be dealing with a theme here. I think this is the overarching theme. I think there's some energy you need to clear. Okay. I think there's some energy you need to clear, and there's some kind of interference, some kind of third party interference in your situation. Just as an overarching theme, no matter if you are, cuffed up or single and you have something like lingering over you from what you've been through in your situation, sending you all this copal. Copal is aligned with the energy of love. Very beautiful, reverent element to bring in. And then sage, of course, just clearing out any old energy that's hanging on, clearing out any interfering energies from Gemini Collective here. All right. Creating sacred space. Maybe you have some things that you're processing around love that need some sacred space called in around them so you can really hold them. You're the only sign so far I brought out my cauldron for, okay? So there's something here. Maybe do some kind of clearing rituals, okay? Some purification rituals. I'm getting like working with a cauldron, okay? Working with the element of fire is coming in. Working with the element of fire. You can create your own kind of rituals. If there's something you're letting go, you can, do a good burn, always works. You can write it out, or you can get creative with it. You can draw it out. If you can't find the words, it's just a feeling that's hovering over you. You can like draw it out. Ooh, I'm getting some intense sentience there, okay? Draw it out. What does it look like? get in touch with the energy that you're needing to clear. There's something about this coming in. All right. You might want to listen to all three sections. Okay. Very interesting. We're writing it out. Okay, we're writing it out. That was very, very interesting. I definitely felt like an outside energy come in, felt very blocking. Okay, so something about this, something to pay attention to. All right. We're going to go into this right now. We're going to get the shuffling done. I did want to say that this is a collective reading. Okay, so please engage your own intuition. Let your own intuition come forward in deciphering the messages that come through. They're going to speak to each of you differently. Okay, but it's like an overall energy that's kind of threaded through the collective. So tune in. You'll know how the messages apply to you. Flip flop roles as you need to. All right. I just deliver the messages as they come in. I can't worry about kind of like translating the information for everybody because we would be here lost in translation, right? So you're the translator of the message. I'm just like broadcasting it to you. So we're going to tune into the energies. We're going to see what's in play here. When a call out signs in the read, understand it's for any significant placement in the chart. I call them out because people like it. It's fun, you know, and sometimes it really hits. And this brings in kind of another little download that came in before I dropped in here with you all. And that is that while I was doing your pre-shuffle, I kept saying seventh house. And I had to correct myself over and over again. So you may be dealing with a Libra, and it was 7:11 on the clock when I said that. A Libra might be significant in your situation. A balancing of karma might be significant in your situation as well. There might be something unjust that has happened, and there needs to be some balance created in a situation. All right. There might be a truth that needs to be told. These are all things that are associated with Libra. All right. Libra is not wishy-washy. Libra is weighing, very decisive, okay, balancing out to make a fair judgment. So I also feel like there's perhaps this kind of like overall theme coming through for you all too. All right. I will have timestamps available for you, even though I'm shuffling on camera. Isn't that interesting? We got interrupted right as I was about to shuffle and get into it. So I do feel like there's something that's like kind of blocking forward motion. It's blocking things coming together. And it feels like an outside element. All right. Now, third party can be anything from, you know, another potential romantic interest in the mix, a lover, a mistress, a side piece. It could also be that there's some kind of addiction, and this is causing a problem, or a meddling friend or family member interference, you know, so it can come from many sources. So don't jump to any conclusions, you know, just kind of lean into where you might be experiencing that. So I'm feeling it pretty strongly with you all, but we're going to shuffle the cards now. I will have timestamps so you can jump ahead if you want. But as soon as the, you know, film starts, I tend to be channeling. So I sometimes get, I often get some kind of channeled message coming in with the shuffling. So if you go ahead, you might miss it. All right. You already saw the like stuff came in and we didn't even get started yet. All right. So I'm going to mark this at 9:17 because this has been working out pretty good for me to be able to get in the timestamps in a timely fashion. I dig timestamps, you know. I wanted to make sure I provided timestamps to all of you because I feel like it's super super helpful. Time is valuable. I appreciate you dropping in and spending your time with me. And if a read is really long, you know, you want to be able to go to the section you need. I think they're very helpful. I know as a viewer, I appreciate them. So I like to take care of those timestamps for all of you. Right off the bat, overarching theme, Five of Pentacles in reverse. I picked up the whole deck in reverse. So this is significant. All right. And it's interesting because that message, something needs to be turned around, something needs to be done differently, right? Okay, so I'm going to turn the whole deck up right now so you see that. But this energy was in reverse. Okay, so I feel like you've been kind of like having this feeling, an overarching theme of like feeling cut off or feeling left out, or in some way feeling disconnected in matters of the heart. I also feel like there could have been like a period where things have kind of gone cold, you know, communication's been held back, you know. Some people may have been experiencing the silent treatment, and just really just not feeling like there's growth in the connection. Sort of like there's just like this sort of like not even the means for continued investment in some cases. Like some of you may have really just felt like those of you who are single, like, oh, you know, maybe love's just not for me. Like maybe that's not what it's about for me in this life. Maybe I'm supposed to focus on other things. Others of you felt really cut off by somebody that you felt was a soulmate, all right, with this 6 of Cups coming up here. And it could have potentially been a fire sign coming through pretty strongly here, all right? We have Page of Wands to the Queen of Wands. Okay, would be news from a Queen of Wands, okay? And that's fire sign energy. Aries, Leo, Sagittarius coming in pretty strongly. This would be a strong figure. So I'm getting Aries coming through pretty strong. So any strong Aries placement in the chart with the Emperor here. This could also be, you know, a woman who really like she stands in her strength and authority, kind of a person who, you know, is like they're holding their own in this situation. You could also be invoking this archetype, Emperor archetype. You know, you might need to be in a very strong position in matters of the heart. You might need to make some considerations, think about what's best for everybody. All right. So this feels like this is an overarching theme for you all. Now we're really going to get into it. Okay. Here's the channel's messages. All right. We're shuffling for Gemini collective, Gemini Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, North Node, Mercury, Mars, and loaded 3rd house. And it's interesting, like the death starts to stick. It's such an interesting piece, you know, because when you shuffle, it's like, you know, it's very much about getting clarity, you know, making sure that all the old energy is cleared out of the deck. So it's like this interesting blocking energy coming around that for you all. It's like I'm getting like blocking energy around coming together. So it's kind of like up to you to determine the source. Where is that coming from? Is it coming from a person, or is there something coming up in you that's also blocking a coming together or blocking an openness to connect with others in a love space? All right. Let's dive in. Let's get these cards out so we can jump into the reading. All right. Shuffling for single Geminis who are single, ready to mingle, totally available. They're just out there, you know, wanting to explore, start dating, you know, single and ready to mingle. We had, whoop, all right. Singles got a lot on their minds, okay? It's interesting that these cards are like really difficult. These both came out as crossing influences. They're crossing influences, but they're pointing upward. So this to me tells me that you're about to make an important decision or something significant is going to happen. And it's moving in the right direction. Like, so if you have any questions about, should I jump into this or should I explore this? Should I, you know, revisit this in some cases? Okay, this coming in. It looks like you're going to make a choice to kind of like, okay, you know, let's see what this is about. All right. So there's an openness, a willingness there coming through for singles. All right. Shuffling for cuffed, those in relationships. Geminis who are cuffed and in relationships. Ooh, a lot coming out here too. And it's all coming up and upright. All right. There's some stuff that's being like, cleared out, tossed aside, and there's some real powerful communication coming in. All right. This is important. So I see there's something very decisive happening for those who are in relationships. Okay. And then let's see, shuffling for it's complicated. What the heck is going on here? We don't know what is happening here. Are we together? Are we, a thing? Are we just friends? Very interesting. That's a very interesting card to come up there. I'm going to probably need clarification on that one. All right. We'll do that as need be as we dive into the read, okay? So let's see, 1616, we start the read for singles. All right, that's double sevens. You're about to go through a lucky streak in love, okay? Those of you who are out there and you're ready to connect with others, I think you're about to have some fun, okay? You might get lucky, maybe it's been a while. Maybe it's been a while since you were able to, get it on. I think you're going to be having some fun. I think you're going to be going out and having fun, just really enjoying yourself. I think you're going to be enjoying being single again. You sort of are going to have this sense of like fresh air, like more room to breathe, more room to be you. I feel like whatever you were dealing with before really was like cramping your style. I'm getting, let's look at this cut of the deck energy here and the way it came out. Okay, yeah, very interesting. Okay, so right off the bat, we have, I think you were dealing with somebody who really was like big time player, man. I mean, this person isn't the type that's really truly committal. We got a Knight of Wands, okay, in reverse, all right? Coming in with the sun in reverse, okay? Strong Leo energy here. There was supposed to be a moving forward with this person. I feel like this is the basis of kind of like what's going on right now, what you're coming into this year with. It's still lingering. This might be one of the energies that's still kind of lingering in your field. That's sort of this kind of blocking energy. We see that there was like this desire to move forward. There was like passion in this connection. There was this desire to move forward. You thought this person was going to be like the end all be all. You thought they were going to be your son. You thought this was going to be happiness. But it ended up being anything but, this person, they're kind of got this energy of very in it for the moment, not really the best when it comes to commitment. Likes to talk a good game, but the follow through kind of fell a little short. I'm picking that up very strongly. For some of you, you were supposed to go on some kind of trip with somebody, and it didn't happen. Like it ended up, getting put off. That was very disappointing. For some of you, this is like, your baby's daddy, and just never showing up, promising to show up and spend time with the kids, shirking responsibilities, still hasn't grown up out there, just, fucking around, creating more problems, There's a disappointment here, though. I think it's something that you've really been processing. I think at one point, this person was somebody that was really like, you were invested in them. They were what you viewed as being your happiness, but there's some kind of disappointment here. But it's interesting because this came up as a crossing influence, but it was starting to turn upward. So I feel like you might be having somebody come back around the bend, or you might be revisiting a situation with somebody you're dating. where maybe you weren't so sure if you wanted to continue to see them or be involved with this person, but something is coming to light that wasn't able to be seen before. I feel like this person's going to approach you, okay? Very strong fire sign energy, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. I feel like this person is going to approach you. I think they want to talk about moving things forward. Maybe they have some things they're going to illuminate for you, things they're going to share with you. And I think that you might strongly be considering this because, like I said, this is somebody that you really considered your happiness at one point. All right. And then the other ones that we had crossing, yeah, you're trying to decide if you want to move forward with this person. We got the high priestess right here. Okay. So this is very much you needing to rely on your intuition. I feel like some of you have been sort of sorting through this. Is this my trauma informing me? Is this me being informed by the negative experiences I've had in the past? And so I'm 21:21 on the clock when I said this, okay? So I'm automatically kind of like sabotaging this potential connection because I'm too afraid to open up to this experience of being vulnerable with a person again and getting hurt. Maybe you were juggled in the past. Maybe in the past you dealt with a lot of people who cheated on you, weren't true to you. You have a nervousness around this, like you're gun shy about it. So like you meet somebody, especially somebody that makes you feel very passionate. Maybe in the past there were times that you became very impassioned in connections, and then it ended up feeling out of balance because the person turned out to be a player and you felt like a fool. You just really like are wanting to protect yourself from this kind of stuff. I think something has been coming up for you though. And I really want to tell you this piece because I think it's so important. We hear about this a lot. Like people always say like, well, what if it's just my trauma talking, what if it's not my intuition? What if it's not a red flag? What if it's just, 2233? Okay, there's an important message coming in here with this. It's important for like building blocks for your future. All right. In considering anybody romantically, it must really be noted that your experience provides you with some wisdom. All right. You gained wisdom from the experiences you have been through. And that's also about honoring the high priestess, the one who knows. Okay. The one who knows. This is about you trusting in yourself. Okay. If it walks like a duck, if it talks like a duck, it might be a duck. You know what I'm saying? It's like, yes, you might find some of your trauma stuff activated in a connection that's feeling off. All right. Naturally, if what you're seeing reminds you of your trauma, all right. So if something's not feeling right, you might want to take some time and some space. Okay. And can you sometimes act out of a place where you're operating out of fear because you've been burned before? Absolutely. All right. So this is really telling me that as you move into connection, and I do see a significant connection for you all here. Okay. I do. 2 of Cups. You got a soulmate. You got a soulmate that's here for you in 2023. But here's going to be the issue. You're going to have to decipher what part of you is speaking to you in this connection, because I feel like this connection is going to bring up a lot of your old stuff around being played in the past. Okay. And this could be somebody you're reconnecting with too, that played you in the past, or maybe you played them. It's a dynamic that's coming up in this connection. I do feel there's this like reformed behavior in cases where it's somebody coming back around again, like they've been doing some work on themselves. They're wanting to turn this behavior around. They're realizing like they fucked around, they found out, right? Like they fucked around, they thought the grass was greener on the other side, and they found out it wasn't. They're like, I lost my happiness, and so they're trying to do a directional reroute. They want to do things better. They want to make it right. This is coming in for somebody. I think this is really a matter of you're going to have to lean into it. With the high priestess, there's a lot that's not seen yet. Okay. So take your time. All right. Take your time moving into love connections with people you actually want to invest in. You'll know when you're really weighing it out. That shows you got some investment in this person. Like you're invested. Take your time though. All right. Because there's going to be really a need for you to be able to sink into like the subconscious, like what's coming up inside of me related to old experiences I've been in. And certainly if you're reconciling with somebody, that comes in very strongly. All right. There's a need to really look at that and remember what you learned in the experiences you've been through the last time. Okay. There's also this piece about not doubting your intuition, because I feel like the person I'm talking to here in this situation where you're considering, I think you're going to consider, okay, let's put it that way. You're going to be considering reconciling with someone from your past who kind of played you. I think that in the past, when you were with this person, you knew it. You knew they were stepping out. You knew they weren't being honest with you. You knew they were playing games and you called them out on it. You called them out. You tried to air it out repeatedly. This person made you feel like you were crazy, like you're assuming things, and they did a lot of deflecting. And I think, it's come to light that, or it will, that you were right on the money. Okay. So this person coming back around and wanting another chance, you have to think about that. And remember that your intuition should play a huge part, in this decision that you're going to make. And if it's feeling not safe to you to reunite with this person, really pay attention to that. And remember what you went through. Remember the experiences that you had and what you learned. I think you're going to be kind of trying to make up your mind. That's what I feel for singles in 2023. A significant connection is coming in. For some of you, it's somebody you related to in the past. For others of you, you're just really gun shy. You've been burned before. You've dealt with people who cheated on you. You dealt with a lot of players. You're not wanting that. You're wanting the real deal. I do see there is like soulmate here. There is somebody here that can, enter into that place of love with you. But you're kind of being like, it's like you're getting a test. You're being initiated into the house of love. Like, did you learn from your past experiences? What are those lessons that you learned? This is going to be so significant for you. It's so important for you in moving forward in 2023 in the love department. All right. Because you may have some false options come in, right? And you might feel that real connection. And that real connection actually may just be the hook, the energetical hook of like the old shit that used to draw you in before that maybe you mistook for love. Okay. So there's this piece here too about really understanding like the roots of your love life, the roots of relationships for you, your beliefs around it, what your blocks are, where are the places inside of you that are unlike love, where you feel fear, fear is unlike love. Okay. So if you feel afraid to move into connection, what is the fear about? Really diving into this. I see that you have the ability to really transmute this, okay, and come into a real beautiful connection with somebody. But I see you questioning, you're going to weigh this out. You're going to weigh this out. And I feel like some of you may be worried that somebody's a juggler, this energy coming in, all right? And you're going to really need to trust your intuition when it comes to that, right? So we're going to do an overarching theme card for you, Gemini, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, North Node, Mercury, Mars, or loaded third house for Gemini singles, please. overarching theme for 2023 for Gemini singles, please. Spirit, overarching theme for Gemini singles in 2023. Again, I picked up the deck upside down. Okay, there's something that needs to be turned around. There's something that needs to be turned around. That could be a perspective that you have, like you're looking at things a little upside down. Okay, it's about turning things around. This as an overarching theme coming through. It's kind of been here the whole time for your read. I'm turning it up right now, but it was in reverse, and it was werewolf exploring wildness. Like, yeah, let your hair down a bit, okay? Don't be so contained, let yourself go out and like howl at the moon, have some fun, I feel like you need to let yourself just go out and play and have some fun and explore for a while. You'll pick up the scent of the trail, all right? You'll pick up the scent of the trail. I just heard, why must I be like that? Chase the cat, nothing but the dog in me. You know what? Maybe you do need to go out, and maybe you do need to go out and play and have some fun. Maybe you do need to go out and just enjoy exploring your sexuality, You might need to do that, especially if you've been through, a dry spell, okay? But I think somewhere along the lines, what's going to happen is somebody is going to come in that's going to like make you ready to let go of that, let go of that exploration, because you're really going to feel a deep like affinity connection with this person. There's soul recognition, okay? Yeah, and it's so wild. I love it right behind that. Now that I turn that up, this is all about trusting your intuition. All right. Look, and here's that theme, like look at things differently. Looking into a crystal ball is another way of looking at things, right? It's like looking into a reflection and seeing something there you couldn't see before. And for some of you, absolutely, you're going to be finding forgiveness. You're going to be releasing your past, okay? What hurt you. This is releasing burden, all right? So you might not realize that you've kind of been dragging these bags around behind you and how much it's holding you back from actually connecting in a way that's really fulfilling, all right? So just pay attention to that. I'm actually going to shuffle for one card here, overarching theme for singles. Overarching theme for single Geminis in 2023. Overarching theme for single Geminis in 2023. Oh, all right. Okay, so this is very interesting. We have vampire, emotional intelligence. Okay, 33 on the clock. They said this, all right. I think that this person that is coming in, they kind of like, they take you to that sort of edgy place inside of yourself. They ignite that part of you. They stir that part of you up. There's something kind of like darkly delicious, about this connection. I'm picking this up for the past person coming around. There's something darkly delicious about this connection. This person is very smart too. They are super crafty. They are super crafty. And I want you to notice here the eyes. I'm like really cluing into the eyes. Like those are eyes that know exactly what they're doing. All right. Exactly what they're doing. And I want you to think of the ways that you really felt like this person just like, I'm feeling like drained the life out of you, man. Some of you are having somebody come back around, that really like they left you in a very dark place. You need to really consider this and call on your emotional intelligence, remembering what happened before with this person. Sometimes forgiveness just looks like letting go, you know, letting go. Um, for some of you, it might be wise, if a past person comes around to kind of like, depending on your situation, to just sort of take some time, to make sure you feel like there's the right space being held around a communication. And in that communication, um, hearing them out, but, releasing it, closing it. This might come in for some of you. Either way, I feel like this year in love, you're not just going to let yourself be ruled by the passion of the moment. You are definitely cultivating your instinct in love. You're employing your intelligence, the wisdom of the lessons you've learned, your experiences, but you're not negating the value of what you know inside to be true because of the energy read you're getting off the situation. Okay. So very, very important for you all right? It looks like a time of like letting go, choosing to kind of move out of that heavy energy, the shadow energy. You're going to be moving into that light energy. But it is about kind of like being mindful of what you let in. Being mindful of what you let in. 36 on the clock. Some things are just better left, done. Truly. But I do feel like there's a beautiful connection. There is a beautiful connection coming in, but you got to get rid of what will interfere with coming into you. Oh my gosh. You need to clear that out of the way. What would interfere with that coming into your lives? There's a meddling energy, man. You got a meddling energy. You need to smoke it out. Okay. Black cat. All right. Because fortune meets opportunity. Something is aligning for you, but you got to be aware of what wants to, kind of throw some bad luck your way. Those of you who know people who do workings, do some clearing energy. All right. Clear that person out, cut some cords. It might be necessary, all right? Because you got something good coming in. All right, cuffed. That was intense, man. That was intense. And let's see, 37:44 on the clock. All right, important year for you all too in your relationship, okay? This big new beginning in your relationship, all right? It leads to a real point of connection, unity, leveling up in your relationship. First, you had to end an old cycle, though. There was something that was happening in this relationship that just was not working, was not working. And it needed to come to a close. There needed to be some kind of work done around this and release around this. So you can get back into this place where you can actually start growing together as a couple again. I see a lot to build on. I see a lot to build on. You're going to be building your relationship this year. You're going to be strengthening your connection with each other. I see a lot of growth in your connection. Yeah, I feel like there was something that happened in this connection that was disillusioning. Something came to light. Okay. It was something that was working beneath the surface. I also feel like in some cases, somebody went through a real healing process. Maybe they were struggling with something mentally that was mentally throwing them off balance. Maybe they were doing a lot of deep healing work and they were in therapy, or some of the people may have needed to go into like some kind of facility for support, maybe rehab. This could be related to addiction, picking up a lot of Neptunian energy around this. This could have been somebody who was really just feeling mentally unstable too. Maybe one partner went through a depression. This could also be that something happened in the relationship that was very disillusioning. Somebody really felt confused by what went down. They would have never expected this to happen in this connection. Something was brought to light, okay? Something was brought to light and it created a need for some space in this relationship, some space and some time to do some healing work. I feel like there was a period of separation, letting go, taking some space. Even if you were like still within relationship, there was some kind of separation created, some space to yourselves, right? That might have been through traveling. It might have been through, um, having separate rooms. It could have been anything of this nature. It could have been all the way to I'm going to go get my own place. You do your thing. But there's some kind of separation here. Some of you, this was an online connection. Okay. You've been involved with somebody at a distance. All right. And maybe you had plans for traveling to see them and you decided to put it on pause for a moment, maybe because of something you saw happen online. It got you kind of like questioning things. What's going on here? For those of you in committed relationships that where you are together, living together, this could be the case too. This coming in, that maybe you saw something online that you're like, this isn't feeling right to me. Okay. There was some kind of space created here. But I see that there is very important communication coming forward. And I feel like this communication is coming forward around this with the Ace of Swords. This is a truth coming out. There's a truth coming out for those of you in committed relationships in 2023. It's going to require, I feel like, some healing work. I feel like it's also going to require some space, some space, something that needs to be let go of too. That's causing issues in the connection. All right. Something's coming to the surface that wasn't seen before. All right. That's what I'm getting. So let's get some more clarification on this. Clarification on this. Whew. Oh my gosh. Are you kidding me? All right. Let's look at this crossing influence. We've got quite a few cards here. All right, we got Knight of Swords in reverse. All right, this is your energy in reverse. You might have moved forward too impetuously in some area. Okay. Oh, wow. Okay, we got a lot in reverse. This is all in reverse that flew out here. This is the energy that needs to be turned around in this situation. So I'm going to call it out and then I'm going to go into the story of it. We have the Knight of Swords in reverse. Air sign energy, it's your energy, okay, Gemini, but it's also Libra and Aquarius. We have the Seven of Wands in reverse, all right? We have the Nine of Pentacles in reverse. We have the Queen of Swords in reverse. We have the King of Swords in reverse. I feel like Gemini collective, I'd be surprised. I would really be surprised if you're not dealing with somebody who doesn't have air aspected in their chart somewhere. Okay. Gemini, Libra, Aquarius here. This is a couple. Notice the direction they're facing though. We got the masculine is looking straight ahead and that queen is looking in a totally different direction. Okay. These are two people who were not on the same page, not on the same page. And when in reverse, this energy is harsh, okay? Queen of Swords will cut you, all right? She'll cut you. And she can get revengeful, all right? And her words can really cut deep. They can hurt very deeply. King of Swords can go so cold, just stonewall you, cut you off. No communication, no communication, ghost you. All right. It's that kind of energy. It's pretty heavy. And then we have the Knight of Pentacles in reverse. Now, this makes me feel like somebody really got let down in this connection, that they were supposed to be promised something. There was some promise to invest in the growth of this relationship, and somebody did something that's coming to light that is like, nope. And you might consider being single and on your own. You might consider like, hey, I can do just fine on my own. You might feel like this connection is throwing you out of your element, out of your power. There's something you're looking at here, all right? This is kind of the past, but there's also like, I'm getting this feeling like you let down your guard and you feel like this person took advantage of you in your relationship. There's some kind of feeling of being lied to, some betrayal here, some manipulation. You might feel like there's kind of a narcissistic energy involved, to be honest with you. And when I use narcissistic, I'm not meaning like diagnosed narcissistic, okay? I'm just talking like somebody's too in their ego. They're too full of themselves, you know? They do what they want to do very impulsively. They don't think about how it affects the other. It's a problem. It's a big problem. And in some cases, this is related to an addiction, and it's seriously an issue that needs to be addressed. This could be like an intervention kind of energy. All right. Um, yeah, you know what? I think a lot of you are weighing up a choice. You're trying to decide. You're creating some space to decide if you want to move forward with the connection, and you're weighing it up. All right. There's something you're really working through this year, but with the Fool here, okay, we know that you are going to head in a new direction, and this new direction is going to give you, you know, a whole new experience. Now, for some of you, there will be an ability to turn this energy around, okay? But you got to get on the same page with each other, and you got to be willing to do the healing work. It's not going to come without a whole lot of transparency and truth telling here. I do feel like there is a truth coming out, and I also feel like there's a declaration of love. All right. One person does not want this connection to end, but I feel like it is at that place where it's like it's hanging on by a thread. All right. So there's something that needs to happen here. There needs to be a start of a brand new cycle. So for those of you that are coming together and you're choosing after a period of kind of like taking your space to like reinvest in your connection, there needs to be like totally clean slate. Like you have to be willing to like, we're starting from ground zero. Like, all right, we're letting everything go that happened before, and we're starting from this point forward. But first, like truth needs to be spoken. Like stuff can't be swept under the rug. It can't. Like the difficult truth needs to come up and out, and there needs to be totally new agreements. I do feel like some of you are going to choose to just go on your own. You might be choosing to leave a commitment in 2023 because you realize that your heart is calling you elsewhere. Some of you may also be going on, I'm getting like almost like a spiritual journey. Maybe you go out there and you travel. It's kind of like almost like pilgrimage energy, you know, eat, pray, love energy, you know, just to get out, get lost in the world, get in touch with yourself again, and feel out what you really want for yourself. Some of you might be very radical, and you might actually totally agree to take that space from each other. Like, why don't we just go and just like live our own lives, you know, and revisit this, you know, a year from now, whatever. But we obviously have things that we need to explore for ourselves. So, right, it was 48 on clock when I said that. So I think you're looking at different options in your connection, and something needs to change. All right. Some of you will go on your own. Some of you are leaving commitments. Okay. And you're starting a new cycle. Let's get a overarching theme there for you all. But, you know, if you want to do it, if you want to make it happen, you can. But man, it's going to be a lot of work. It's going to be a lot of work and a lot of truth telling. And there can't be this hiding anymore. You know, somebody's really been kept in the dark, and it's not fair. It's not fair. You know, things need to come up and out. So important in this connection. And I also feel there's just like so much personal healing needed too. Like you guys are kind of like acting out some of your like trauma stuff through each other. You're doing a bit of mirroring. And there's like healing that needs to happen. Okay. So this is all about doing things in a fresh new way and starting a brand new cycle if you want to, continue to grow in this connection. And both people need to be equally invested in it, right? So more. Come on now, come on. Oh, it's funny. I was like, I'm gonna cut a deck, and it cut it for me. We got spider, okay? Community and web weaving, all right? So again, this web weaving, this is all about community. I feel like getting support. Maybe a support group would be good. Maybe some of you deal with like codependent dynamics, or maybe there's some other kind of like addiction in play. For those of you who've already been through recovery, maybe you're not going to meetings anymore. Maybe you don't go and drop in with your support group. Maybe you need to. Maybe this is what's needed and what's missing, and you need to bring that reinforcement back in. It could save your relationship, okay? I also see the web weaving, creating a new way forward, and some of you, like I said, some of you will choose to go your own way. You want a whole new reality, and you want to weave it into what you want it to be. All right. So important choices. This is a big like crossroads year for you, Geminis who are in commitments. Okay. Follow your heart. You'll know what to do. All right. 5117. Okay. For it's complicated. It's not complicated though, because you only had one card come out. And I think, we got the 6 of Pentacles, and the 6 of Pentacles is coming up as a crossing influence. There's a few things here. Some of you are attracted to somebody you work with, and this is creating kind of a complicated dynamic. Some of you are already in committed relationships, and you've been having kind of like an office affair. You have been keeping this sort of quiet, like you haven't really been letting anybody know what's going on here, but there's this giving to 2 people. Remember the Libra energy came up? I'm noticing the scales, okay? So I feel like there's somebody in this situation that they're kind of in the position where they're pulling the strings. Like, they got 2 people that are, basically it looks like, in a compromising position with them, okay? They're giving to 2 people. But I don't think these people know what's going on, and that's why they're at a disadvantage, all right? So this could be a situation that's a little complicated. I'm also seeing that this could be just that, you're at work, and you don't want to go and create a problem for you at work and end up being in a position where now you're out of a job, because you got involved romantically at work and it caused a problem. This could also be a boss. This could be a boss that's making advances, or somebody who's in some kind of position like that, making advances, and it's not really appropriate, okay? It crosses boundary lines. This is a very uncomfortable situation. You might even feel like kind of compromising your values because you feel like your job depends on it. In some cases, some of you, I'm bringing it in, okay? It's coming in. I speak to everything here. Some of you might be considering like an OnlyFans or making money, through your sexuality, okay? You might know somebody who's a sex worker, or you might be finding out about this and it's something you didn't know about. And this is creating a complicated situation, right? Lots of different ways this could be seen. Let me see any kind of clarifying message about this to see what's going on here, okay? I'm definitely getting like, there's a third element in this situation too. Third party is kind of like your theme, interfering influence. Okay, we got these. Yeah, okay. For those of you who have been involved in sex work, I think you're realizing that you don't want to do this anymore. All right, you're moving away from this. You found it to be kind of traumatic. And I know that's not everybody's story, but it's coming in. Okay. So I'm going to bring it in. And also, you might have been in a situation where, maybe it was more about security and you were sexually connecting in that way. And that wasn't feeling right. So you're choosing to move away from that situation. This kind of has situationship energy to it too, for those who aren't sex workers, all right? But I feel like you're wanting to move away from this dynamic because you're ready for a new beginning in love. And a new beginning is coming in with a King of Cups, like somebody who's actually emotionally available. They want to connect with you on this level. All right. Water sign energy, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. They could have water and fire strongly aspected in their chart. We do have the Emperor here. Okay. This is somebody strong, very strong masculine energy. This person wants to build with you. You feel alignment with this person. All right. But there's some kind of element that has been compromised in the situation. There's somebody who's like giving to two people right now. This kind of has a fair energy to me. All right. It might break up a home, getting involved in this. And it was 56 on the clock when I said that. In order for this to come into alignment, it breaks up a home. And this is kind of an issue. But I do see there's a turn of fortune in this situation. Okay. This is like destiny. Something's coming in. Because here's the Queen of Cups on the other side. This is a true pair, right? It was 56:22 on the clock when I said that. So I feel like this is, coming into alignment with somebody at an inconvenient time. You might have met this person through work. That piece coming in, there is something around this. It might also really negatively impact your finances. You're worried about this, just coming up and out with this. It means you have to like go off on your own. Some of you may have been considering like different options, like I was saying, OnlyFans, something along these lines where you can just make some quick money. I see you joining with this person though. You're gonna come up and out with it. You're gonna tell the truth. You're not going to continue to give to two people. You're going to come into alignment with this person. You're going to make the choice to move forward with this. It's destiny. It's destiny. It's like fate and destiny meeting. I see this happening when Aries moves into the North Node, which will be in July. Okay, July 2023. Be on the lookout for this. Have the deck energy, overarching theme, ghost, regret. Okay. I feel like this is a situation where, yes, there's regrets about what happened and the way it happened or the way it will happen, because this is a predictive read, but you don't want to waste the life you have. You don't want to live with regrets. And I think deep down in your heart, if you don't go for this person and leave behind your old situation, you're going to live with regret. And then you're not living anymore because you're always living from that place of like, what could have been? You'll always wonder. You'll like kick yourself for the rest of your life, wondering what would have happened if I would have just went for it. If I would have just went for it. I think you're going to have to find out.